Hello everyone, and today we're going to show you how you can make the start screen UI. You have start, info and credits, and when you press start, we will be loaded into the game and you can move around with your character. Let's make this. So of course, you're going to start out in this empty base plate. First of all, we have to lock our camera into a part, yeah? So what you have to do is you have to press part right over here. And let's name this part to somewhere like cam part, yeah? Or let's say just start cam, yeah? Then what we have to do is we have to find the front of this. I think already front. Yeah, this will be a bit of playing with this part. So we have this part right over here. Let's make a simple small script inside our starter player scripts, which will be a local script. And then let's rename it something like start cam handler. And first of all, we have to local our cam part. Yeah, so how do we do this? Local cam part equals to workspace, point, wait for child, cam part, start camera, yeah. And then we have to local our camera, which is in workspace at current camera. So first we have to do is we have to change our camera to scriptable, because as you can see here, if we start the game, we will have a camera, but it will be set to custom here, but we will have to make this scriptable, yeah. How do we do this? Very simple. We go to cam.cameras type, yeah, enum.camera type.scriptable, yeah. Then cam that our C-frame of our cam will be cam part.C-frame. So now when we test the game, you will see we will be in our camera. As you can see here, we will have to find our front, which I think is here. A very simple trick I like to do is I go into my toolbox, I go into decals or something, I get a random decal. I would just use this one, the squid game, and then I know where the front is, you know. So I go here, boom, boom, and normally when I turn this around, make it face here, I normally, yeah, see here, the camera is in front, yeah. You just have to find where the front is of your part, then you will see it, yeah. So I'll position it somewhere around here, maybe even make it look a bit down. Yeah, I kind of like this, yeah. This will be what our start screen will be looking at. You can place this wherever you want. I'll just make this a bit smaller, just fun. Yeah, so we have our camera, we have our start cam, which our camera will be faced in the beginning, right over here. Now what we have to do is we'll have to make the UI itself, yeah. So in starter GUI, we will make a screen GUI and we will call it somewhere like start screen UI, start screen UI. And then inside of the start screen UI, we will add a text label and let's name this to game title. Yeah. Then what we can do already is we can remove the background transparency. We can change the position to somewhere about 0.2, 0, 0.1, 0, yeah. So it will be right here. Then our size, I did a bit of playing around with it, and I think 0.6, 0, 0.15, 0 is quite big enough size. And if you go a bit down in the properties, which I'll make bigger for you guys, you will see somewhere about text scaled. Enable this. I will use Fedorka 1, make it bold. Text color, I'll make this white. Then you can make your game name, yeah. I will do epic cool game, yeah. This is my game name. This is the title of your game. Then what we have to do is you'll have to make the 3 buttons. But first of all, let's make a small little blur effect for the background. So inside of lighting, we can click on the plus and add a blur effect, yeah. Then we can rename this to somewhere about menu blur. If you don't want to see the blur right in the studio, make sure to disable this in the properties, but I just want to see how this looks like. I'll make it about the size 20, yeah. So we have a cool blur effect. If you start the game, you will see we have this blur effect with our game name on top already, yeah. But of course we don't have any buttons yet. Let's make this right now, yeah. So inside of our screen GUI, let's add a text button. Let's not rename anything, or I'll rename this to start button. Keep it at 1 for now, because we will first add a corner, UI corner, with about 0.12. Then we will also add a stroke, UI stroke, and let's make this about 220 color, like a bit of an off-white grayish kind of thing. Since I'll make 1.5, yeah. So you will have your small button here, but of course this is a bit small for a button, so let's make it a bit bigger. I'll make the properties again bigger. The position, I'm gonna do 0.5, 0, 0.45, 0. This will be in a kind of a weird position. That's because our anchor point, which is very important, by the way, we will have put at 0.5, 0.5, yeah. So now it's more centered, but of course it's still quite small, so let's make it bigger. I'll make it about 0.25, 0, 0.08, 0. Yeah, so that's much bigger. Yeah, of course we will do the same thing again at the bottom. Text scaled will be on. I'll make the text color about 30, 30, 30, so like a darkish gray thing. Yeah, of course I will also use Fedorka 1 here, and now we have a button. Yeah, we can now click on Ctrl D or right click duplicate this 2 more times, and then what we will have to do is, wait, I forgot to change one more property, which is somewhere about auto button color. We will just remove this. Yeah, so when we hover over the button, it won't like change the color of it. I find it's quite annoying. If you like this effect, as you can see right over here, if you like this effect, you can keep it on, but I don't like this. I will disable this. Yeah, then we can duplicate this 2 more times. So we have 3 star buttons, but one of them we will call info button. Another one we will call credit button. Yeah, if you only want star button, just only use star button, but I'll also use these 2 things. Yeah, so the position of our info button, so everything stays the same except for the position and the name, but that will, or the text that will be inside a button. So the position of our info button is quite the same, but also not. Instead of 45 here, you will put 58. Of our credit button, instead of 45, you'll put 71. Yes, now it's quite aligned. Let's go here a bit at the bottom. As for star button, let's put the text to start. For our info button, let's put it at info. And credit button, let's put it at credits. Yeah, epical game start, info, credits. Yeah, now when we test the game, we will have the 3 buttons, but if you press, we won't even have an animation, like knowing if we are hovering over it and all. Yeah, so let's do that right now. So inside of our start button, let's add a local script. Yeah, let's limit this to about like button animations. Yeah, then you will have here button animations and you will have a script. Yeah, let's change the script up a bit. Yeah, so first we will have to local our default size. Yeah, so our default size is, as you can see here, this. Yeah, if you want you can copy it, but I will just memorize it. Equals to udm2.new, which we made 0.25. Let me see, 0, 0.08, 0. Yeah, this is our default size. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna local a function. Let's make it tween and with a goal inside of this. Yeah, so this will be for our smaller animations. Yeah, so first we're gonna local our tween info, which will be tween info dot new. So first we will make it 0.15, comma enum dot easing style will be set to quad. Yeah, comma enum dot easing direction, easing direction, we will make it out. Yeah, and below this we will make something with a tween service. Oh wait, I forgot to local some things here. Double enter here. We will first have to local, of course, our button, because we don't know, the script doesn't know which button they have to animate, which is script.parent. Yeah, so parent of the script here is the star button, which is the button you want to animate. Yeah, then we have to local, of course, tween service, because that's the service that we're going to use for animations. We will do by doing game get service tween service. Yeah, and then normally here, if we put tween, we can do tween service. So tween service is going to create. We will create a button, tween info. So no, create. So it will be for our button. We will use the tween info for our animation, and of course goal. And then tell point play. But of course, this is a function. What is goal now? Yeah, let's make this right now. Yeah, button dot mouse button enter. Yeah, so this is when you like hover over it. Tell point connect a function with nothing inside of this. What we will do is we will make a tween service. Oh no, wait, sorry. Tween will just call out our function, which is called tween. Here we'll put the size equals to udim2.new, and we'll make like a slightly bigger size for our button if you enter the mouse. So let's make it 0.27, 0, 0.09, 0. Yeah, so what does this do? When we enter, like if you hover over the mouse, then it will play a little animation. We will call out the function tween, and goal will be this new size. Yeah, so we will make it 0.15 seconds long is the animation. We will use the easing style quad, direction will be out, and then we will get a button, the tween info, which is 15 seconds quad out, and then also our goal, which is our size, we will increase to this. Yeah, now we will make I think about 3 more of these functions, so you can copy this actually like 3 more times, but instead of mouse button enter, we will do mouse leave. For this we will do mouse button 1 click, mouse button 1 down, and then this will be mouse button 1 up. Yeah. So the only thing we have to change is our size. So if we leave, then we have to use our default size. Yeah. So then it just resets back to the default. So remove this and then just do default size, because we made the size here already for default size. Our size when we press the button down, you'll make it a bit smaller, which is only here we'll do 0.23 instead of 0.27, and instead of 0.09 we'll do 0.07. Yeah, then here the same we will use default style. Yeah, so now when we start the game, you can see when we hover over the start button only, at least because the script's only at the start button, you will see it will like play a small little animation if we click or if we hold the button. The button gets smaller. If you like pause click, you can see that's like a small little satisfying animation, I would say. Yeah, so what you can actually do is we can right click this, copy and paste this inside of each button. Yeah, so now when we test the game, it will have the animation to all of them. Yeah, you can click on all of them. Of course, that's good. Now what we'll make is that if you click on start, everything like fades away and you get into the game. Yeah, so let's make that right now. This we make by adding a local script in our start screen UI, which is a local script. And let's name this UI controller. Yeah, name UI controller. Boom. So what we first do is we local our tween service again, which we did by doing game.get service tween service. Yeah. And of course we're gonna local our UI, which is script.parent, and we're gonna also local our blur, because we will have to remove our blur, which is game.lighting wait for child menu blur. Yeah. Boom. Now what we have to do is we have to local our background objects. We'll use an array for that. Local background objects equals to, let's make an array by these brackets, and then we'll first do UI.wait for child game title. Yeah, let's copy and paste this 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, instead of game title, we will do start button, and here we will do info button, and then here we will do credit button. Yeah, of course, after each of these things, you'll have to add a comma so you know it's separated. At the last one, you don't need to do this, but yeah. Then we will make our fade out function, so our fading animation. So local function fade out with nothing inside of the brackets. So for underscore comma ob objects in pairs in UI point get descendants do. Yeah. So what we do, if obj point is a, let's say, text label, and what we're going to do, or object point is a text button. Yeah, like this. What we're going to do then, oh no, why is this? Then what we're going to do is tween service point create. We're going to make a new tween service, which is obj comma tween info dot new with 0.8 inside of there. Yeah, and now what we're going to do is here, oh, why is there like the double bracketing? Oh, that's for this create object. Oh yeah, this is because of these brackets. Yeah, of course. But go behind these brackets, add a comma, then make a bracket, and then press enter. Yeah, and what you're going to do is text transparency equals to 1, comma, we will do background transparency equals to 1. Yeah, so we will just make the text transparency to 1 and the background transparency will also be to 1. So that means like they will get hidden, yeah, in the span of 0.8 seconds. Yes, then we're also going to do 0. Play at the end to play the animation. And then after this, we will make an else if obj point is a point like this UI stroke. And what we're gonna do is tween service point create and for our object comma tween info dot new 0.8 seconds again, because that's how long the animation is, comma this trans c also equal to 1, and then we're also gonna play this as well. Yeah, boom. Now what we're gonna do is after these two ends, not at the last one, we will press double enter, tween service point create. So this will be for our blur. Yeah, we will fade out the blur point create. So we will use our blur, which we called out right over here. Yeah, comma tween info dot new, and we'll make this 1 second instead of 0.8, comma, then we will do the size equals to 0. Yeah, because the blur, as you can see here, uses the size thing. Yeah, so we'll make it 0, because when it's 0 blur, you can see we see the game normally, but of course let's make it up. Then of course at the end again double point play. Yeah, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait 1 second after that, And then what we're going to do is UI.enabled equals false. Yeah, so the UI will be disabled. You cannot see it anymore, you know. And yeah, then what we're going to do is the button connections. UI.start button mouse button one click the point connect function nothing inside of there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna print something out, yeah, starting game or something, yeah, and then we're gonna do our fade out. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna local our camera equals workspace dot current camera, and then we're gonna do cam dot camera type will be enum dot camera type dot custom. Yeah, so that is for our start button. So what we can also do is we can copy this here, remove everything inside of here except for the print for now. Yeah, this will be for our info like this, and then we're gonna do is go info screen or something. Yeah, and copy this, copy this, paste one more time. Then we're gonna do this credit button, show credit screen. Yeah, now we test the game and we click on the info button. You can see show info screen will be printed out in your output window. If you don't see your output window, you can see this here at window output. Yeah, credits. If you click credits, show credit scene, now we click on start, we have this small animation going into our player, and you can play the game freely. Yeah, this is maybe a part 1. I'll maybe make a part 2 for this. Yeah, please let me know in the description, in the comments, or even in my Discord what I can improve on this, what you want to see with this start screen, and I will try to add as many of ideas that you guys want me to make into the next tutorial. Yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.